that is we'll be having a set of experiment list, right? So experiment list are like this. Implement a block diagram signal for simulation of poles and zeros, frequency response of Lee lag second order, stability of RH, stability of a Boda plot, like this. But here one okay first two, that is the block diagram and the signal flow graph in detail, right? So we should write it is using the MATLAB. So implement the block diagram. So this is the first one, that is the experiment number 1. So here I will take this as experiment number 1, right? So it is 1. So implement the block diagram reduction technique to obtain the transfer function of a control system. So poles we should take as 4 and zeros q here 1 1 2. So I'll explain this in the below how what it is. Then the transfer function A can be called using the P and Q. So we should do the transfer function of this, that is output divided by input. Then so this is the first set of equation, first block. This is the second set. For the first block we'll be having this is the transfer function. For the second we'll be having this. So here this is numerator poles and this is 0 denominator. This is numerator and this is denominator for the second function, right? So second transfer function. Next we are doing the series of both, then taking the feedback of -1, right? So the diagram will look like this. You can look at this. This is the input R of S, and here we are considered it as 4 divided by S square plus S plus 2, right? So how we can write this as 4 is pole is 4, P equal to, that's constant, numerator is 4. Denominator can observe S square. What is the coefficient of S square? So coefficient of S square is 1, right? So what is the coefficient of S? That is 1. What is constant? 2. That's why it is 2, right? So we have written these two for this block, and we are taking a transfer function of both. Next, similarly, we are writing the next two, R and S. R, look at the numerator. The coefficient of S is 1. That's why we are written, and the constant is 0. Nothing is there, so we written this as 0, right? In the previous case it was 4, now it is 0. Then look at this, S, that is denominator. Constant of S is 1 and the constant is 2, right? Taking both the transfer function by calling this whole as A and this as B, and later we are taking the series of A and B. Because these two are in series, we can take the multiplication of these two. That's what the mathematically we have done. Look at this, these two we have multiplied. And what is the feedback we are having here? 1. That's why we have written this feedback as 1 here, right? So next, after that, then go to the mathematical calculation for negative feedback system. How we can write transfer function? C of S equal to R of S divided by, transfer function equal to C of S divided by R of S. Then G of S, this can be written as G of S divided by 1 plus G of S H of S, right? So what is G of S? G of S is this one, right? So write as it is, divided by 1 plus of G of S into H of S. Substitute and do the calculation. Take the LCM and start doing the calculation. At the end you will get this answer, right? So later you can cross check with this, the output 4s, that is s cube plus 3s square, 8s4, and this should match. This is mathematical and this is programmatic. This also I will show once this MATLAB is going to open. So I will show that part also, right? So till that I will explain the second one, that is about implementation of signal flow graph to obtain transfer function, right? Or else I will explain that in the next video. So I will show this answer how we are going to get, right? So two windows are open. One window you can open it. Just wait for the MATLAB to open. Just wait. Okay, MATLAB is open and I have this program. That's what I have explained. Here you can observe poles equal to 4, that Q112 and first transfer function A, then R and S, second transfer function B, then we are taking a series, then answer feedback of C11 we are taking, right? C why we are taking, because C is series of A and B and 1 is feedback, right? And for negative we are taking -1, right? So that is what the meaning is. Then save this and run this. So after running, so you can observe you are getting this as the result, right? So this is exactly matching. You can observe 4s divided by s cube plus 3s square, that is 4s divided by s cube plus 3s square plus 8s plus 4, right? So it is 8s plus 4. So this is how we should do a simple MATLAB program using this mathematical, and this should match, this part should match. That is what the main intention is. You should learn a very small writing of MATLAB programs with control system concept, and at the end you should get the answer, right? So thank you. For the second video, probably whenever I am free I will update it. That is a control system ipcc lab, which is for the 4th semester VTU students, right? Thank you. We will see in the next video.